Hi guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over to a brewery that I've been wanting to sink my teeth into for such a long time. Ignore that. And yeah, I was doing an order for Paul, aka Bluenose, because he entrusted me with some money to pick up some beers for him before he visits Manchester. Because yeah, it's going to save him money buying beers back in the States and then paying for extra luggage, and then there's always that risk that they get, smashed in transit. So yeah, I picked up a few beers for him from HonestBrew, which I'm going to put my referral link down below because got to promote the free shit. But also I'm going to put the code that I used for my order from kindly given to us by HonestBrew themselves in collaboration with Jake from Jaco Beer, Rob from Hopzine, and Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, who host the Good Beer Live show, and they've got their own code, which is Good Beer Live, which gets you £10 off your order, and it also gives you free delivery. And I use the express delivery on these, so I got it pretty much the next day for no extra charge. So yeah, great range on the website, by the way. Not being paid by HonestBrew, but I shall be ordering from them again. So if you're interested, then of course use that code primarily. But if you want to support the channel, then I'm going to put my referral link down below as well, because it helps me out a little bit. And yeah, it just, thank you for all the support in general. It doesn't matter if you use that link or not. The fact that you've come onto this video is reward enough, and I appreciate that. Even though it does come across like I am cheap, which is, yeah, I am cheap. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bullshit. I am a very cheap son of a bitch. But yeah, so this is from a brewery that I've wanted to try for quite a long time, but never actually got round to pick up any of their beers. And I was doing this order, and then I saw that, I've got a little bit of money left over myself from my birthday, so why not just pick up a few things, throw it in that order, save a little bit of money on postage and that sort of stuff. And that's what I did. So we're going over to Verdant, or Verdant, if you want to go proper colloquial. Yeah, probably offended a few people with that accent. But yeah, so we're going over to Verdant, and we're looking at a can of their Pulp, which is pretty fresh, because it was packaged on, well, it just says February, 8th of February, 2018, is that? The date's a little bit skew with. But yeah, 8th of February 2018. It's now the 19th of February, so a couple of weeks on it, which isn't too bad, because I've been hearing a lot with some of these New England style, double dry hopped hazy IPAs, insert buzzword here, that some of them can be a little bit too harsh and green. So even like leaving them for a couple of weeks before you get into them can actually benefit the beer, even though we're always told to drink as fresh as you can, which is correct in most cases, because you don't want hops to fade, especially with this sort of style. And yeah, so to have a really quite fresh batch of this beer, which I'd heard so many good things about it when it was like first released. I'm not too sure how many versions they've released since then, but I think they change around the hops and that sort of stuff. But I heard a hell of a lot, and I know right now as of recording it, the beer that a lot of people are hyping from Verdant, who isn't hyping a Verdant beer, let's be honest. The craft beer community have just proper fallen in love with them. And I've only ever had their beers in like collaborations, and they've always been really good. I love this style of beer, even though I don't get to try it as much as I would like to, which is kind of good because I'm not getting overloaded by it. So it's always a nice surprise to have a really hop forward hazy beer. But yeah, so Pulp, very excited to try this one. So this is of course a double IPA, clocking in at 8% ABV in a Tall Boy 440ml can. So I will quickly read you what it says. So the ingredients on this are extra pale ale malt, best ale malt, Caragold malt, then wheat and dextrose. Hops for this are Citra, Huguenot and Columbus. IBUs are, no, the yeast, sorry, there's no IBU there, is US05 yeast. So a little bit of a write-up on the back. This double IPA is bigger in every way, but still remains a dry finish that hinders its strength. You have to apologise for my terrible England. Massive fruit aromas and flavours combined with hazy, golden looks and chewy body rarely do make this beer a stone fruit pulp fest. yeah, terrible reading there. I do apologise, but yeah, fantastic looking artwork. I love this can. And I've had this in the fridge for a couple of days now, waiting for the right time to pop it open. So I'm just about to make myself homemade pizza, and I think what a perfect beer to accompany that. So let's get the can opened and see what we get. That's a nice generous fill in there. Always appreciate that. It's like filled right to the top. Using my pretentious whiskey glass for this one. Don't worry, I won't do an Iceman pour. Yeah, I already look like a pretentious twat as it is, so all on purpose, I would like to add, for effect. But yeah, look at that. Haze for days. It's not as vibrant as some of the other ones I've had. You know, it's like bright yellow mango juice, but it is definitely turbid. Hazy as hell. You can't see through that at all. It's got a lovely sort of pale lemon drop or pear drop colour to it. Very bold, lovely creamy foamy looking head on the top there as well. But yeah, it just looks like pure juice, doesn't it? It looks like it's going to be a chewy juice bomb. So let's see what we get on the nose. First hop that I'm hit with is that Citra. Lovely, gentle, sort of sherbety citrus character. A little bit of lemon. You get a very subtle pininess. There's that ever so slight, like, caramelised garlic and onion character you sometimes get. But yeah, loads of like starburst sweets, like jelly sweets, that sort of stuff. Like ranch fruit pasta, it's very amped up in its fruitiness. Does smell like juice with that slight savoury edge there, but it is very subtle. It just like sort of balances it out nicely. But yeah, big grapefruit, blood orange, you name it, citrus fruits galore. Mango, big tropical hits. It just smells so nice and inviting. So before the lighting gets completely terrible, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh man, that's so good. It's so bold, so chewy. Lovely subtle bitterness on the back end that just tops off the whole experience. Alcohol is masked absolutely beautifully. It's just so moreish, so refreshing. Fruity as hell, like, yeah, stone fruits galore. Even that bitterness on the back end is genuinely fruity. Like lovely grapefruit characters, even like a bit of a pink grapefruit sweetness, like sprinkled some sugar on it. Breakfast juice out of the arse on this one. Not as piney as on the nose, even though it wasn't really that piney on the nose to begin with, but that's lovely. That's really, really nice. Like Haribo, jelly tots, ranch fruit pastels, those sorts of flavours, but in like a natural sense. There's no like synthetic fruit elements to this, so it doesn't get too sweet in that candy-like character. Yeah, like tropical juice drinks like those ones you had when you was a kid. It's absolutely wonderful. It really is. That's hitting the spot on so many levels. They've, like, from my limited experience, and this is a bold claim to make, even though I've just opened with my limited experience, every beer that I've had that has had Verdant involved in, it's like, excuse me, they are a relatively new brewery. This is still a relatively fresh trend. Or is it really? Yeah, I think it's still classed down. Sorry, I keep itching like my right tit, my left tit there, but you know, it's like they've refined it. They've refined this style absolutely wonderfully, and it just tastes lovely. I love like that residual. There is like a slight hop burn residually on the back end, but it just works so nicely. And when you're drinking it, it's balanced out beautifully. There's no like harshness aside from that on the back end. Doesn't get too sweet, doesn't get too sickly. You know, you want to have like a 4-pack of this and just demolish it. You know, you're going to get yourself into shit tons of trouble. And yeah, pulp, you get that impression as well, like the pulp of like fruits that you've juiced. And it's just juice. It's just juice, and it's beautiful. And yeah, it's not too acidic either, which is always a plus. But yeah, if you love your citrus fruits, this is beautiful. Big hits of Citra for me in this one. One of my favourite hops. It's one of the few hops that I can sometimes detect, and I can detect it out of the arse in this beer. But yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. I can't fault it. I just want more. I want more and more. And if they produce better beers than this, then fuck, I need to make like a big haul of just Verdant beers, because this is absolutely wonderful. So I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, that this is going to get a 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. If you love the style, then you're going to absolutely adore this beer. If you want a good example of the style, give this beer a try. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm pouring it now in the glass. It's like coming out like milk. It's just like nectar of the gods. I mean, it's getting considerably darker now. Should have put a light on before I started this, but oh well. Adds a sort of like ambience. Bit of a Michael Haneke ambience. Oh, when you get a bit of head in there mixed with that beer. Just, oh, it's beautiful. I could pick apart this beer so much more and just gas on about it. That's probably one of the best examples of these hazy IPAs and double IPAs and pale ales and DDH, you know, all the buzzwords again. It's so beautiful. I can't fault it. 10 out of 10. So I'm sure by now you have probably tried it. Love to hear your thoughts, opinions. If you tried this throughout different iteration, you know, different versions, then let me know what you think of this one compared to those. Are you a fan of the style? Are you a fan of this wave of beers that we're getting? It seems like everyone's brewing sort of these beers, which I'm all for it. You know, every now and then I like to just get proper juicy. Not on this channel though. Message me for that one. But yeah, beautiful stuff. I love it. And yeah, I was going to say that's going to pair absolutely beautifully with the pizza I'm going to make, but the pizza's not even going to be in the oven by the time I finish this, because it's just beautiful. So of course, guys, check out Verdant if you haven't done so already. Let me know what your favourite beers are by them, what your favourite breweries who are knocking these sorts of beers out of the park. Of course, any friends and fellow beer tubers who have reviewed this, their links are down below. Check out my double IPA playlist. I need to create a playlist for the New England style beers, which I'm just going to put them under that umbrella, or just call like Haze for Days or whatever. Sorry, Jake. And yeah, so I'm going to create that playlist, so it'll be down below for more examples of these sorts of beers. And yeah, I made the right choice by picking this one up. Maybe if I'd have left it maybe a week more, that green harshness that I'm getting on the back end, which although not affecting me in a negative way at all, that would probably get muted a tiny bit more and be a bit more smooth. So if you're into that sort of stuff, I could definitely see that helping the beer for that sort of palate. Not that I can really talk about people's palates. Anyway, I've waffled on for way too long. It's 15 minutes. It's a grainy video. It's really dark, but I don't care because this is a beautiful beer. And if you haven't tried it, do yourselves a favour, excuse me, and pick yourselves up one, because that is absolutely gorgeous. So thank you guys for watching. Any feedback is always welcome. And of course, if you want to get yourselves a discount from HonestBrew, then use those links and codes down below. And more importantly, I hope you join me next time for another beer review. Thank you guys for watching. I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.